Thank you, Lord Jesus. I'm glad to see all you guys, especially you from Rocky Ford.
Yes.
You guys make me smile. See what God's doing in you. Good to see God restoring a family. Amen. And God, takes something that the devil messed up and broke and starts to repair and rebuild. Taking an old 57 Chevy or something, all messed up, rusted, broken windows and everything, and then returning it to you like a brand new car. That's what God can do. How many know that takes time though?
Right.
It takes time to restore. It takes time to rebuild. It takes time to get rid of the rust. They call it in auto body, cutting out the cancer and the damage and the stuff over the years has caused, and how God comes in our lives. And I watch the shows like Counting Cars or Fast and Loud, so where they take cars and they do exactly what I'm telling you there. And, they do it within an hour. I thought, man, that's nice. They take that whole heap and an hour later presenting it to the owner, a beautiful car. And I thought, gee, but God, what they could do in an hour, but how many know it wasn't an hour? Some of those cars have been in the shop for years, and constantly worked on over a period of time. And that's what God does in our lives. He comes in, and a lot of times, we don't realize that we do have rust. But it's not visible. It's on the inside. The cancer is not outside. It's not by a physician that told you you have cancer. The cancer is on the inside. The cancer nobody can see, and no eye can detect, no machine can detect. It's on the inside. It's like unforgiveness. It's like anger and bitterness and resentment and pride. And it takes God, it's not that it takes Him time, it takes us time to let Him in that room. Well, I still got this closet, and God's like, yeah, I in that closet. But don't touch it, Lord. That's my little, my closet. That's my secrets. Are you with me? Or my pain. I heard a pastor today that said that his father left him when they were young, left a mom and all this, and the pastor, his son was asking him about his dad. And he said, I never even thought about it. He says, till I was 40 years old. I was in the ministry, I became a successful pastor, doing all these things, awesome things for God, and I never even thought about my dad left when I was a kid. He said it wasn't until my 40th birthday, till I was in a car, driving, going over my days and, my years and my success in life, and, had I accomplished this and that, and I realized I didn't have a dad. And he said, for about 5 minutes, I just wept and I cried. And he said, I realized, he said it's something to the fact that even in his life, he never thought about it. It never was visible. He didn't even think about it. He kind of blew it out of his mind until he was 40 years old. See, these things have a way God has a way of exposing things that you don't even know is there. You've forgotten about. You have went on with life and done pretty good for yourself. And God's like, yeah, but remember that room back there? The closet, the what do you call it? The olden houses, they have the cellar. You go outside and lift the thing up, or and you got to go down there. You still have that. And there's a bunch of junk in there. I forgot about all that junk. God, I forgot about all that stuff when I was a kid, or what happened to me, or my dad left, or abuse, or whatever. I forgot about all that, And sometimes God has to go through in our lives, and He waits until you're ready to reveal it to you. Remember I said the Holy Spirit will reveal things to you. And sometimes He'll reveal stuff in your life years later that you forgot about. And it may not be just gifts and talents, it may be sin. But the Holy Spirit, or like I said, bitterness. Bitterness is a deep root, man. Bitterness can bring you to the place of unbelief, Hebrews says. a spirit of unbelief, through a root of bitterness, anger, resentment, pride. You with me? Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness can bring sickness in your body. You with me? And when you forgive and when you learn, and that's why we need to pray, God, show me. Teach me your path. Show me your ways. Show me. David prayed in the Psalms. He said, Lord, he said, show me if there's anything wicked in my heart, anything I need to understand. Show me, God. That's the way we need to pray. Well, what do I have to pray for? I already prayed for my daily bread. And God's like, well, but there's so much, God. There's so much, God. I told you tonight how far we've come from God. Right. Yeah. The things that used to, man, we would never even think of things that we're entertaining today. Yeah. Right. Hello? The church in the body of Christ, since I got saved 35 years ago, the church has really changed. Right. To where not only do they sin, compromise, and go ahead and entertain everything that the world is doing, but in a Christian way. You with me? Right. But, you know, they promote it. You know, Pastor Ray was saying one day in Denver that they have a church that smokes weed. And you go there and that's what you do. You smoke some weed and read the Bible and, you know, churches that, you know, drink and all different stuff, which, you know, years ago, that wasn't right. It wasn't God. Today it's godly drinks too. God, you know, He prescribes you the medical marijuana, so let's hit it. It's from the Lord. I tell people that Jesus Christ wasn't enough, right? Then what Jesus did by His stripes, when He bent over that pole, they bent Him over and they whipped Him 39 times to where His kidneys and liver and His back and muscles and tendons and ligaments and spine was exposed. They did that for nothing because they didn't know in 2020 or 2018 or whenever that weed was going to be, that Percocets and Vicodins were going to take the place of that. See, God kind of made a mistake back then because He was in the dark ages, so He didn't know what was coming through the minds of the scientists and pharmacists. What a mistake He made. If He would have known in 2020 this would happen, He would have never bent His Son over a tree. And 39 lashes. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but they said from every sickness, every disease known to man, they stem from 39 major diseases. 39 lashes. 39 major diseases, every sickness and illness stems from 39 of them. You think God don't know what He's doing? You don't know. You don't think He knows exactly what was going to happen? You know. Do you remember when He was on the cross and He was up there and He was suffering for 6 hours? He was on that cross, and you know what they did? I don't know if you know this. They dipped His sponge. He said something. I can't remember exactly what words He said, but they dipped the sponge inside of the medicine, and the medicine would take away your pain. It was like morphine kind of, but it was a liquid medicine that they had, and they would do it, and they would put it on the mouths of the people crucified, so they would suck on it, and it would kind of take away their pain. And when Jesus was on the cross and He was suffering, He said something, I can't remember, and they took the medicine, they dipped it in the Percocets, or tequila, or morphine, or heroin, whatever it takes, or marijuana, the CBD oil. That's what I'm going to say from now on. Dipped it in the CBD, is that what it's called? CBD oil? Dipped it in there, and they put it to his lips, Brother Robert, they put it to his lips so that he could suck on it, so that he could get numb, and it would help him take the pain. And Jesus would have refused it and said, I don't want any of that. I want to feel every sickness. I want to feel every pain. I want to experience everything a man and woman could go through in life without medication, without marijuana, without even liquor. I want to experience this. I want to take every pain, every sickness, every disease, every curse on my body, so that I can take it to hell with me and bury it there. Amen. And when I come up from that grave, come on, he said he had victory. The keys of death, hell, and the grave. He had them in his hand. He didn't compromise. He said he was tempted, as we're all tempted, yet without sin. And I say, God, help us. Help us as a people, Lord. Help us that we don't, just because everybody else